What's up, fight fans? It's the homie, main man, made man in the building. Y'all know how I get down. We talking boxing, man. Salute to everyone that catches this live and salute to everyone that catches this on the playback, man. I'm just stopping in for a brief live stream. I'm not going to be turning it up too long tonight, fight fans. Just want to come on through and drop this news off about Canelo Alvarez and Caleb Plant reportedly now being off. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if this is some sort of joke or something like that or what's going on because of all these sources. But, you know, the usual boxing insiders, Coppinger and the rest. But however, I'm noticing a lot of publications ain't picked this up yet. You dig? It's creeping out kind of slow. People kind of slow to embrace this, fight fans. We'll see how far I go. What up, Ray Bans? I see you, man. What's up with you, man? Salute to my fam, Ray Bans 805 in a building. What's up, man? Ain't too much. Salah Farah on deck. What's up, family? What's up, Salah? Main man, made man in our hails. Dropping this boxing knowledge. You already know. You know what I'm saying? Silver Salamo, I see you. What's good, man? We're going to talk this real spill, y'all. So, look, man. Let's get to this, man, and see what we can make out of this, man, because this one came out of left field. So, like I said, I don't know how much to believe this. I don't know if this is just a temporary thing. I don't know if this is a hype up story, because I find it real funny how everything was going so supposedly, reportedly good up until the 11th hour. And then they saying this thing broke down. So let's look at the report. And according to ESPN, they're saying that boxing's top star was on the verge of a deal to meet Caleb Plant on September 18th in Las Vegas, a PBC on Fox pay-per-view, a pact that was in the works for weeks. But at the 11th hour, talks have broken off over disagreements in the contract. Multiple sources tell ESPN. The contract was passed back and forth between Canelo's team and Al Heyman's team over the weekend, sources said. And after multiple edit requests, the deal collapsed over a stalemate. Talks could be revisited, sources said, but time is running out if Canelo plans to fight on Mexican Independence Day weekend, as he traditionally does. If he moves on from a fight with Plant, who holds the only middleweight title, blah, 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 blah. So as you can see right here is that they've been passing this thing back and forth. Everything's supposed to have been going so good, and they reach a stalemate, right? Now, let's just go by what we know, because I see a lot of speculation is going to fly over this. Some people are saying weight. Some people are saying PEDs and drug tested and stuff like that. I don't know. None of us know the reason. They say over small details, but I can't imagine what these details can be. The thing is, there's two number one things that had to get done in this situation supposedly was done. And that's the money for the fighters. We already heard the reporting coming on out. Caleb Plant was going to get northward of $10 million. Canelo Alvarez getting $40 million. So that's a $50 million fight at least. At least a $50 million fight. That's a hell of an investment from PBC on Fox. Now, we also know that Eddie Hearn is in the midst of all of this. Eddie Hearn ain't happy about this decision from Canelo Alvarez, fight fans. Call it for what it is. Eddie Hearn would love Canelo Alvarez to do nothing more than to do an about face, pivot back to Gennady Golovkin on the zone. That'd be Eddie Hearn's dream. Gennady Golovkin is under the same umbrella now with Eddie Hearn, right? It's funny, about a week or so ago, some reports had just got let out that Canelo Alvarez and Gennady Golovkin may enter negotiations again. Remember that? According to the reports, it was the zone saying that they wanted Canelo Alvarez versus Gennady Golovkin to happen. And if they're going to sit down. Now, I reported that and I said, hey, this gives Canelo Alvarez something to leverage against Caleb Plant. This news came out around the time when Fox was supposedly asking Canelo Alvarez to come on over for a multiple fight deal. According to the early reports, PBC sent Canelo Alvarez, 3-fight deal to come on over there and fight for 3 fights. Canelo Alvarez came out and said, hell no, I'm only doing it for 1 fight. I don't want to be locked into nobody. Now, also keep in mind, Eddie Hearn made it evidently clear. We over here at DAZN is going to offer Canelo Alvarez a high guarantee. So if PBC on Fox want Canelo Alvarez, they're going to have to go above us, which they did. $40 million. $40 million, which they did. So I'm just going to guesstimate, like I said, just like everybody else, doing a little speculation. If I had to go with my gut feeling on this and what's holding this up, my thing is it has nothing to do with the fighters. I don't think this has nothing to do with Canelo. Well, more so to do with Canelo, but not more so to do with Caleb Plant. Caleb Plant just along for the ride. He has no command in this. He's just going to do what he's told. If PBC says this is a decision, he's going to have to live with it. That's just the simple of the matter. Canelo don't. I think the big issue here, if I had to guesstimate, once again, I have no evidence, and I'm just going guesstimating as a boxing fan. I'd say this has something to do with Canelo after the fact. What happens to Canelo afterwards? This PBC on Fox, as great as having Canelo on their network going to be, giving him $40 million, maybe having him beat Caleb Plant, walk out with undisputed back to DAZN. Is that in the best interest of PBC on Fox? Riddle me that. Riddle me that. To just have Canelo walk into their network, pay him $40 million. Take all that treasure, take all that prestige and walk back to DAZN. See you, Canelo. It was great doing business with you. Y'all think things work like that in the boxing world, huh? Y'all think things just work that way. It just worked that way in the boxing world. Nah, don't work that way. Everything is about leverage. If I had to guesstimate again, once again, I'd say this has something to do with the word options. Meaning that maybe PBC probably put something in that contract and say, well, look, man, we might can't lock you in for multiple fights, right? It's like we wanted to, you know. We know they want you to go face Gennady Golovkin, so of course we want to keep you here, and we can't lock you into anything. But how about we get the right to match? What if, I don't know, what if, you know, if you go back to DAZN and they say, I don't know, we give you $30 million for your next fight, can we get the option to go above that? Do we get the last matching option? Can we get that for 1 or 2 fights? What if something like that is in the contract? I don't think the prize is the money. I don't think the money is the holdup here, fam. I don't think all of this other stuff that people think it is the holdup. I think the holdup is Canelo, meaning what happens in his future. He's a free agent. What happens when you got the cash cow of boxing as a free agent? You don't think everybody and their mamas want him? Huh? You don't think? I don't know, fight fans. I'm just saying, if I had to guesstimate, I'd say something to that effect is going on. That's what I would think. I just think that when you got an open-ended thing with Canelo, I mean, when he took his stands and drew his line in the sand, and he said, hey, man, I'm not going nowhere for multiple fights, I knew that was a big deal. I mean, that was a good stance, and that's cool to be free, but I don't see PBC just not even getting the option to match your fights. This is what Eddie Hearn does religiously. This is part of his. He does this. This is what he got going on with Devin Haney right now. The option to match. They all do it. It's not an Eddie Hearn thing. It ain't a PBC thing. It ain't a Bob Arum thing. They all do it. They all do it. They don't just let fighters walk away clean like that. It's hard to do. You got to have a powerful contract, fight fans. And especially if you're a big name fighter that has a world title. They're always looking for ways to get options. Can't blame PBC for trying it, like I told you in the early days, if this is the case. But we'll see, man. I just got a problem with just believing that if in the 11th hour things fall apart, when you get through the purses and you get through the whichever network is going to be on the hardest parts, I would thought. And it looked like all that was lined up. It was lined up. It was going to be on PBC, on Fox. It was lined up that they're going to get $40 and $10 million, all of this money. And then all of a sudden, boom, it breaks down for small details. Small details. When y'all talking about this bigger money, fight fans, it's bigger than the fighters. It's too much money involved for a fighter to walk away and turn something down. I know we like to do that, and we can take that low-hanging fruit and put this at the feet of Caleb Plant or put this at the feet of Canelo. Cool, but I know when this much money is involved, it ain't a fighter thing. It's a suit thing. It's a suit thing, fight fashion. I'm hashtag anti-suit. Y'all already know. So that's my guesstimation on it. I don't know for sure. I just hope that they put it together. I hope that they get it together. because I want to see history. You know what I'm saying? Canelo need this, man. Canelo and Eddie got to understand they in a position that they got to deal. You want undisputed. Okay, I told you I don't think it's nearly as important to PBC. This is important to Canelo. And what else you gonna do? They talking about Dimitri Bivol for real. Dimitri Bivol, I love that fight for every reason you can imagine. But do I want to see Dimitri Bivol drain down and weight to 168 pounds? The answer is no. Dimitri Bivol's world title at 75 won't be on the line. Then we ain't talking about Jack. Shh. We ain't talking about nothing. Because the only reason I want to see it is if Dimitri Bivol's title was on the line. You know what I'm talking about? So we ain't talking about nothing. Who else? You're only talking about Gennady Golovkin in another fight. And that's only if Gennady Golovkin want to risk his Ryota Murata fight at this point. Now, he could technically go and face Canelo if he get through Canelo in September, pivot back to Ryota Murata in December. That's a possibility. Sure it is. But that's only if Gennady. Then you giving leverage to Gennady Golovkin. Canelo, you got to give up leverage to somebody, bro. You just in a position. You're the cash cow. You the top dog. I get it. Everyone would love to fight you. But if you want undisputed, man, sometimes you got to give a little. It's just the way it works, fight fans. Look what they doing to my man Bud Crawford. Look what he got to go through. They try to even get a unification. Better yet, undisputed. He got to be leveraged in all sorts of ways. You know what I'm saying? That's just the way the fight game works, unfortunately. See what the fam talking about, man. Salute to everyone. Salute to everyone. Hit that thumbs up for me, man, as y'all roll on through, man. Hit that thumbs up for me. Yo, I see you, man. Yo, Thomas on deck, fam. I see you. I see you. What's up with you? What's up with you? Silver says, man, Plant doesn't want any part of this fight. Nah, man, I can't believe that, man. I can't believe that, bro. Caleb Plant been waiting. He been sitting out, you know, not taking risks, not taking chances, taking, you know, a tough fight. In the meantime, between time, trying to savor this opportunity, man, he wants this fight. I think Caleb is just playing it cool. Like, look, I'm gonna sit back and let my team handle it. You know, when they start talking like that, that pretty much means it's out of his hands. He just waiting on it. He waiting on the phone to ring like everybody else, and he hoping that phone rings. 10 million rings. You know what I'm saying? Orlando Finney, my brother, is in the building. What's up with you? How you feeling, man? How you feeling, man? What's up, man? And my fellow boxing enthusiasts. What's up with you, man? We just cooling, talking this real spill. You already know, you know. Told y'all Heyman wouldn't allow it to happen. Man, I don't know, man. We want to hear some more reports about this and see what the final verdict is, man. I think they just going for as much as they can get out of Canelo, man. They going for as much. They trying to get an option, I believe. If they can't lock him in for a fight, the least you can give them is an option if they're gonna give him so much money, probably. That's what I would guesstimate and think. The least you can do is give us an option. Like I say, look at Eddie Hearn and Devin Haney. Perfect example. Eddie got last option to match anything Devin Haney goes out here and try to make, which is cool for the fighter because it helps a bit. It's almost like a bidding process, right? It's always good for the fighter. But it ain't that easy to always just walk away. Canelo wants to walk away free. He wants to go over there and make 40 million, get a record purse, put on a huge network, promote it with NFL, football, and everything else. Because that's going to be huge for Canelo. I mean, huge. And I just, like I said, man, as a guy who knows how this thing going, y'all know it's going to be hard for him to just walk out that door. You dig? You already know. You know what I'm saying? Yes, sir. Salah, you know how I get down. Yes, sir. Yes. That's it. You already know. Bob says Plant is the sacrificial lamb, man. Hey, man, Plant is in a position of leverage. Plant can ask for the most money of any of Canelo's opponents. Plant can have Canelo come to his network. Plant is already getting a lot of concessions that Canelo wouldn't normally give up. He's paying him more money than ever. Especially given the size of Caleb Plant's fan base, but given what you pay Billy Joe Saunders, given what you pay Callum Smith, it's only but right you got to give Caleb Plant more. You know what I'm saying? He's in a position to leverage and all around every way you slice it. Now I can't blame Canelo either for not wanting to be locked in. Like I'm telling you, if this is the issue, if there's any issues about his future fights under whatever outfit, I can't be mad at him for fighting for that too. He fought for his freedom. He fought to get from under that damn 11 fight deal. He fought from being locked in. He has his own promotional company now. He don't need Golden Boy. He don't need Matchroom. To a certain degree, him and Reynoso are building up their own promotional stable. In my guesstimation, my opinion, this just man-made, man. They're going to eventually get Ryan Garcia. Watch what I tell you. Watch what I tell you. Zion, what's up? My brother DJ Zion Love on deck. What's up, family? How you feeling, man? You see this new Zion, man? Crazy, man. Come on, man. They can't snatch this away from us, man. Boxing would love to have this fight. Boxing can use this fight, man. Oh, and I was just bigging up Canelo just what was that yesterday, saying how he coming out all on top with this whole situation. I was just telling everybody, like, damn, that's crazy how he gonna walk over there, make all this money, get promoted on Fox. That's regular TV fight fans with the NFL. Go over there and get undisputed and then be allowed to walk on back. Man, that is the deal of a lifetime. That is the deal of a lifetime, y'all. So y'all gotta excuse me if I find it hard to believe that they didn't walk on out the door. You know what I mean? That's just what I'm gonna say. You did. Orlando says, man, I was looking forward to the undisputed fight. Where's the love? Exactly, man. Where's the love? Where's the love, man? Where's the love for the boxing fan? You know what I mean? Where's the love, man? Really wanted this, man. Anything that has undisputed attached to it, I want it. You know what I mean? Canelo was a spoiled brat, says DJ Zion. He won everything. Hey, we know one thing, man. This better not fall apart, man. Canelo needs this, bro. He wants this. He fought. You can't come this far, man. You can't rack up that many belts. They even made an exception for Canelo. Y'all don't even get it. They made an exception for Canelo. They gave Canelo that Lomachenko exception, where he moved up and he challenged for that WBC that was vacant by David Benavidez, though he held the belt in another sanctioning body. Yeah, he held that WBA regular for beating Rocky Fielding, right? Turned around and challenged for that WBC, though, that was vacant. That's funny. I didn't know you can do that. They did it for Vasyl Lomachenko. Remember? Vasyl Lomachenko, full-fledged title holder. He had, a couple belts before he went for that WBC that was vacant. Right? Oh, it wasn't vacant. He went for the WBC, but he wasn't supposed to be able to challenge for that WBC when he had other world titles. It's like a rule against that, man. You can't do that. Too much bitching going on in this boxing game. This is where the sanctioning bodies got to step in and make this fight like they did for Porter and the Ducker. We about to get to that, Mike. Yeah, man, they got to do something, man. They got to do something. They can't just let this fall apart. But at this point, with money in this big, sanctioning bodies, they just like Caleb Plant, man. They're along for the ride. They just along for the ride. They wait for the phone to ring, just like Caleb Plant. This is a suit thing, bro. You know what I'm saying? This is a suit thing. And I think if you ask me, my opinion, a play for Canelo. Some sort of play got to be at play for Canelo. You know what I mean? Because he learned from Floyd, says Bob Dixon. Yeah, learned the game. Learned the game, man. Canelo, that's why I say he had a blockbuster deal right here, man. It was so good. I thought a little too good to be true. I mean, damn, I know they wanted Canelo, but 40 million. All this promo time. 40 million. Undisputed. Everything. Everything. You know what I mean? Canelo wants to get every advantage, says Felix Nunez, all day. All day. That's what he needs. He needs an advantage. I hope this is some sort of hype you up story. I want to keep putting that disclaimer out there, fight fans, because you know how it is nowadays, reporting with these sources. Nothing is official. Nothing is official. And this is just per the sources. So I want to keep putting that disclaimer out there, man. Today's media world and boxing media, everything is bought and paid for. It's hard to trust any of it sometimes. You know what I'm saying? So remember, sources. Canelo versus Bivol, says Cupini. I love that fight if Canelo go to 75. I love that fight. You talking about respect? You talking about respect through the roof? Now we definitely got a serious argument for number one pound for pound. You go up there and beat Dimitri Bivol. We talking about perhaps by a mile at this point. Like, you go up there and beat Dimitri Bivol that's ready for you in his prime, and you take him on at 75. Man, ain't nobody on Canelo. Ain't Canelo number one. Canelo number one. He do that. He is number one. I got too much respect for Dimitri Bivol. A ton of respect. I think when it's skill-wise, talent-wise, Dimitri Bivol, I believe, is the best at 75. I know a lot of y'all say Beterbiev. I think it's Bivol. Bivol got it all, man. Bivol got it all. And he been calling out Canelo since as long as I can remember. You know what I'm saying? Since as long as I can remember. Porter acted really nice and surprised about fighting Bud. Let's go there, young billionaire. Let's go there. My main man, great segue right there. Let's go there. I'm gonna move on from the Canelo thing for a minute, fight fans. And let's move on to this Showtime Shawn Porter thing real quick, shall we? Showtime Shawn Porter. Showtime Shawn Porter. Hold on, I got Cumberland's couple of his little quotes out here, man. You know what, young billionaire? I got that same impression, bruh. I'm like, damn, my man is always surprised. It's like, okay, I remember when the tweet got taken down, right? And it seemed like he said this was unexpected. That was days ago. So we would think that he's past the surprise point. Okay, you surprised, Shawn. You surprised. You know, we watching you, bruh. We watching you. According to Showtime Shawn Porter, he says this, and I quote. I got a couple of his quotes that I took off his podcast. I didn't want to play his audio. Maybe we'll save that for We Talking Boxing Live this week. But he says, I didn't see this coming. It was a pleasant surprise. At this point, it's just a matter of time. So I'm going to stop right there. He says, I didn't see this coming, and it was a pleasant surprise. Cool. You surprised. You got caught on your heels. Like I keep telling y'all, this lets me know that Shawn Porter ain't had nothing to do with ordering his fight. That narrative is dead. It's gone. It can never be revived. Shawn Porter has been too surprised. I mean, he's been so surprised. He's just blown away. He's at a loss for words almost. You know what I mean? Shawn Porter say, yo, man, we can't say too much about the fight, but we are happy for the announcement. I like that. I like that. He goes on and says that myself and my dad were surprised at the announcement. They just so surprised, man. I get it, bro. You surprised. I think he had to use the word surprise in that 2 to 3, 4 minute span when he talked about this fight more than anything, bro. I was just so surprised. This was so unexpected. God damn it, I've just been so surprised. We watching you, Shawn. We're watching you, Shawn. He goes on and says that we're kind of in that space where we're like, wow. Okay, man, we get it. We get it, bro. We get it. You wow. You're blown away. Are you gonna take the damn fight? Because you know that's all nice. You know, I'm going off the energy of Porter. You know, and I'm just gonna say this, fight fans. Watching his podcast, I'm trying to stay positive about this. Okay, so watching his podcast about when he broke this pot down, his tone told me one thing. He was surprised. It was kind of, his tone was a little, I don't know, maybe I'm over examining here, but his tone was surprised, but his body language, I don't know. It was a little off for me. He looked a little uncomfortable. Maybe he don't want to talk too much about the deal and everything like that and let it out and spoil nothing. Maybe he wants to go silent, which we always say is a good thing, right? When negotiations. But yeah, Slim, his body language to me was a little just iffy. It just was a little iffy. I'm trying to stay positive, you know what I'm saying? But it was a little iffy. I felt something there. I didn't hear the roar, but it did felt as though he was happy. The one thing I did get from Shawn Porter was the fact that he's very happy that he's being talked about. He's very happy that he's in the spotlight. He says that, you know, his Hagler moments and stuff, he believed that this is his moment. Like he always seen Hagler and Hearns and these guys having the biggest fights in boxing. They're being talked about. They're being pushed. And now he feels like he's pretty much in that place right now. That's great. But what you just described to me is clout, bro. You just described clout chasing him. You just told me you happy to be famous. Cool. We love that. That's all nice. Of course, you're going to be talked about. You being associated with Terence Crawford, one of the biggest names in boxing, contrary to popular belief. Of course, you popping. We going to make sure you pop, Shawn. Trust and believe, homie. We going to make sure you pop. But all you got to do is sign on the dotted line, brother. That's it. And that's all. He says, I don't think that I could get a bigger crowd than this. I don't think that the world could be any more excited about anything that I'm doing in boxing more than this. I agree with you, Shawn. We couldn't be, because ain't nobody wasn't trying to hear nothing about no Earl Spence Jr. rematch, no Keith Thurman, none of that shit. Ain't nobody wasn't trying to hear, bro. When they mentioned you with Terence Crawford, your name took off. It's been the hottest name this week. But they say Terence Crawford ain't no star fight fans. Shawn Porter's name been on fire this week. Why do you think he saved this news in this little 3-minute slot, 4-minute slot talking about this for his podcast? Because he know he popping. Now we want to know now, Shawn Porter. We hope, and I'm just gonna say I believe and I'm gonna stay positive and say that, you know, hey, he's happy to be popping. He knows, he see the weight of this, and maybe he did learn from his mistakes of the first go round. See, Shawn Porter came out and apologized to Terence Crawford, didn't he, fight fans? He came out and he told the world that I went about it all wrong. I went about it all wrong. I should have never came out the way I did against Terence Crawford. What do y'all think he was talking about? Because he didn't come out rah-rah for real, for real. He ain't come out like that. He didn't turn into the Macho Man Randy Savage like he did against Danny Garcia, right? He didn't come out rah, disrespectful or nothing. So what is he talking about? People didn't understand that. What was he apologizing for? He says, I went about it all wrong. What was he talking about? I tell you what I think he might have been talking about. What we've been covering here on the channel. And that is when he turned into Rev Porter. What do you mean, main man? Well, Shawn Porter was running around thinking that he was the Magic Mandatory. Remember? He was telling everybody he was the mandatory to all of these different sanctioning bodies, which turned out to be bullshit. He said, I'm the mandatory in the IBF. I'm the mandatory here. And everyone ran with it. He was the Magic Mando. And when it came to Terence Crawford in the WBO, he thought that he was the automatic Mando. And he started talking reckless. This is what he apologized for. He started saying things to the effect of, well, you know, Terence Crawford can't go nowhere other than fighting me. And if he gonna fight me, if he wants to fight anybody else, he's gonna have to give me step aside money. Well, what? He started running around saying stuff like that. Well, with me and my dad know how the business work, and you know, you can't just get around the mandatory, and you know, you got to give us step aside money. And hold on, homeboy. So when your friend Terence Crawford tell you, hold on, brother, let me go see if I can lock this Pacquiao fight down first. And if I can't get my legacy fight that I've been trying so long to get first, if I can't give it one last final shot. I know this man Bob might be lying, but if he lying, I'm going to tax his ass. You know what I'm saying? Let me work that out with Bob, but let me just make sure that this is good. And then Shawn was, well, if you're going to go fight anybody else, you're going to have to give me step aside money. He was Rev Porter. That's what I think he apologized for. Because he wasn't rah-rah. He wasn't this. He didn't say anything disrespectful. He didn't say anything. His tone wasn't out of tone. You know what I mean? It wasn't none of that. It was, I want step aside money. What the hell? So when I look at that and I think about that, fight fans, and I look at Shawn Porter and I know he's enjoying the clout. He's riding a clout roller coaster right now. The Porter Way podcast is going to fly. I'm trying to tell you. It's going to fly. I mean, at least for the next couple of weeks, right? It's going to do beautiful, beautiful numbers. You are popping, Shawn. If you want to continue to pop, let's make sure we get this done. Now, word is that the whispers around behind the scenes is ain't nothing official. Once again, it's just whispers. We're doing a lot of whispering tonight, ain't we? But whispers are that PBC, they want this fight, and they want to win this fight. They want this to go to purse bid. That's the word on the curb. The only one who wants to play kumbaya in this situation and be joint is Bob Arum. Well, I hope we can all work something out. You know, I hope we can do the joint thing, you know. I don't believe that shit. I think PBC is looking to devour this whole situation. That's the word on the curb. I hope it do. I hope it, because purse bid is going to be dangerous for this whole situation. If y'all don't think that people or entities are on the sidelines waiting to sink their teeth into this fight, y'all tripping. It would take PBC or ESPN or Top Rank or whoever to make some backdoor phone calls to whoever outfit and say, hey, don't get in the purse bid. If you don't, I'll make sure that this fight happens later on in the year. You know how they do it. Teofimo Lopez exposed that. Well, if you make sure that you don't bid on this, I'll make sure that this fight happens at this time. Pay for play. It's always going around all around boxing. So, I mean, I don't know. If it goes to purse bid, I'm sure some deals like that behind the scenes will have to be made. You know what I'm saying? Let me see what the fam talking about. Let me see what y'all talking about. Yo, Mike says, that sounds like what Crawford is doing, sitting back, waiting, fighting bums. I'm glad the sanctioning body fixed that. Yeah, too bad it took them almost 2 years, Mike. Too bad it took them so damn long. You know what I mean? And none of those top 5 guys in the WBO attempted to put not one piece of paper in. But it's all Terence Crawford fault. Virgil Ortiz, Mikey Garcia, Castillo Clayton. Who else we talking about? Boots Ennis. The list goes on and on. Did any of them put in a piece of paper and say, what's up with the mandatory? It's all but Crawford's fault. He's the champion, bro. He is the champion. Vincent, what's up with you? What's up, Vincent? Just cooling, talking his real spiel. You know, that's true, but he knows all he's going to get is the bag and not the win. I think you're going back to the Canelo joint. All he's going to get is the bag and not the win. You talking about Caleb Plant? Hey, that's probably all he won. When you get the bag, sometimes you are winning. You know what I'm saying? Think like that, man. Is the reason that Plant ain't getting the fight that he is the C and D side fighter. Canelo is going to fight Bivol. But why would he do that? That don't make no sense, Capone. That don't make no sense. That's spiting. That's cutting off your nose to spite your face. You want history, bro. How long does Canelo Alvarez really think that IBF is just going to linger right there? We don't know what's going to happen with the IBF. He playing a risky game. How long does Canelo Alvarez want all of these sanctioning bodies in his pocket? You want to walk around with all them belts for how long? Paying off all of these sanctioning bodies? I would think that the time is of the essence. You got a lot of belts, man. That's a lot of sanctioning fees. They're going to be eating off Canelo for a long time. And I don't think that Canelo will come this far to vacate belts. Mandatory is going to start to come into play. You take the window while you got it. The question is, how bad does Canelo want it? I don't know. You can't blame PBC, man. You can't blame them for being in a position that they are, trying to make sure that they locking down the cash cow of boxing. That's what's holding up this fight fans. One more disclaimer. One more. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's sad, DJ. It's sad, man. He say Canelo is spoiled. Canelo is spoiled. He want it all. He wants it all. That's Canelo, man. That's Canelo. I take that back. I'm sure he believes he can win. If he didn't, he shouldn't be there. But he's still going to get hammered. Yeah, man. I think Caleb Plant believes he can win. Caleb Plant got a good skill set. My thing with Caleb Plant is how fragile is he at this point? Will he become Humpty Dumpty in that ring? Because he suffers so many injuries and he nurses injuries all the time. And how durable is Caleb Plant? A lot of people are asking that same question about Canelo and his knee. How durable is Canelo Alvarez? But I think that Caleb Plant's, he's been nursing his body, healing his body, and remaining out of the ring purposely and trying to keep himself kind of not taking the tough competition purposely, and maybe even not even kicking it into his second gear, third gear purposely. I don't think he wants to put the wear and tear on himself, and that's what's going to make me see. But far as tools, he got speed, he got movement. But how long? When Canelo's coming at you, cutting that ring, hitting you to the body, you know what I'm saying? Yo, Mills Lane says maybe Canelo ain't want a rematch. Could be that too. That could be it. That's a great point, Mills Lane. Rematch clauses are always a big hang up in fight contracts. That's a great point. Great point, Mills Lane. It could be a thing where if Canelo gets the rematch, it could be here, it could be there, it could be like little details like that. But the rematch clause can always be a thing that hang up negotiations too. That's a very, very good point. He may just ain't want the rematch clause. Maybe Caleb Plant is asking for a rematch. That's interesting. Maybe that's PBC's way of maybe trying to secure another fight from Canelo by getting a rematch if Caleb Plant loses. This is all speculation, fight fans. All speculation. Disclaimer. Could be. I don't think it's the PED thing. I don't think it has anything to do with drug testing. I don't think it has anything to do with weight. And I don't think he has anything to do with purses. But I think rematch clauses, options on next fights and stuff like that, what happens in the future, I think we in that ballpark. I think we all in that right ballpark right there. You know what I'm saying? Caleb Plant is holding the last belt for hostage. Shit. PBC is guiding him, bro. They guiding him, man. They guide him the right way. They trying to get him the best opportunity for him and them. You know what I'm saying? Him and them. On the surface, it's great news that Porter's talking like he's on board to fight Bud, but I don't trust either promoter. Yeah, true. Very true. I told you, man, you leave these fighters in the ring, they come out, in a room, they come out with a fight. Shawn Porter right now is shown to be, on multiple occasions, he taking orders from the PBC. So, this is all a PBC thing. PBC is in the driver's seat of all of this stuff, man. You got to understand, PBC got a lot of business going on in the background, too. What's their relationship going forward with Fox going to be? We hear the news out that their deal with Fox could be coming to an end this year with the option for another year next year. You don't know what PBC is trying to leverage in their negotiations, too. That's the way it works. When you got, if you go to a network and you let them know that you got Canelo Alvarez coming back for another fight, how easy it is to get a good deal. That extension, that next year extension is in the bag then if you got Canelo coming back, don't it? I'm just saying, things like this are always at play, fight fans. It's a lot. It could be any small details, or it could just be all fluff. We'll see. What Mike Ryan gonna say when Bud knocks out Porter? He gonna say that something was wrong with Porter. He gonna say Porter was old. Mike will come in here, but that Porter ain't look good in that Formella fight, man. That Porter ain't look good against Ugas, man. It was gone after the Ugas fight. You know it. It's gonna be Mike and a bunch of other Spence fans up in here, taking back the credit that they supposedly gonna give Bud Crawford if he gets rid of Shawn Porter. Allegedly. Hey, Silver Salamo says Canelo versus Bivol most likely next. Now, I don't believe it when I see it. I have a very, very hard time believing that. I think that Bivol is the most perfect anti-Canelo opponent. Bivol and Demetrius Andrade, they got something for Canelo. I believe that Dimitri Bivol and Demetrius Andrade, they got something for Canelo. And I think that when it comes to those fighters, I'll believe it when I see it. If Canelo takes on one of those two, man, my respect level for Canelo just blasts through the roof. You beat Andrade with his skill set that everyone says that you can't beat, and Andrade is showing signs of decline. I'm just saying. But you beat Andrade, who I've always said that gave Canelo problems with his length, with his movement, with his IQ. You beat Dimitri Bivol, a bigger man who does have movement, who throws combination punching, fast hands, great boxing IQ, good angles. He sits right on the outskirts of my top 10 pound for pound. That's how much respect I got for Dimitri Bivol. So you do that, Canelo. You want to win respect from boxing fans, not just your supposed Mexican compadres that look down upon you, the greats that you at once upon a time tried to overly criticize you. When Eric Morales and Antonio Barrera and the great Julio Cesar Chavez, who came around eventually, but they were critical of you, man. But they ain't gonna have nothing to say you beat one of these dudes. Shit, to be honest with you, as crazy as it might sound, I might even respect him more for beating Bivol than I will for Plant. Real spill. Bivol is the real deal. Y'all not hearing me, man. Bivol is the real deal. Canelo bores the living out of me. Wait till Zerto is on top. Then you will see top Mexican boxing versus the best at their best with no clauses. Tell it, Lawrence. Tell it. No clauses, no catch weights, no this, no that's. This is the reason why he can never be. I ain't gonna say never. This is the reason why he doesn't overtake number one for me in pound for pound. Can't do it. Too many catch weights, too many Canelo weights. You fight Erislandy Law at 155. Why? Somebody tell me why. I have no idea. You come from 160, you go down in weight to face Liam Smith at 154 for the WBO. You fight the Smith brothers, but you won't fight the Charlo brothers. These are the type of questions that I ask. You fight the Smith brothers, but you won't fight the Charlo brothers. You make a run for undisputed at 68 when the WBC comes off of David Benavidez's waist. I'm just saying, we notice these things. And this is why I'm saying that fights with Dimitri Bivol or Demetrius Andrade would thoroughly impress me. And not at a Canelo weight. Not at 171. Not at 169 or none of that. You know what I'm saying? At a real live weight for real live titles, catching these dudes, not cutting no corners. I know I get it, the argument. Oh, Floyd did it, man. Floyd did it. So I didn't like it when Floyd did it. We called Floyd out when Floyd did it. Any corners that being cut. Floyd say, take him out of them gloves and put him in what I'm in. Hell nah, that ain't right. He had to pay money for that, though. But people don't talk. They don't talk that story all the way through. He had to give up a lot of money to do so. So if Marcos Maidana is going to accept this money from Floyd to do so and not protest, then it is what it is. They all cut corners. The opponents most of the time is forced to accept it. Canelo ain't no different, but Canelo just he got carried away. He got rampant with it. You know what I'm saying? From the weights to the even the PED rules being changed in his behalf to franchise belts. Like that's too far, man. That's too far. There's one, we get it. You the cash cow. All right, you can do anything you want in boxing. Understandable. But that's too far, bro. I mean, creating titles in thin air. I mean, that's when we just going a little too far. You know what I'm saying? For real. For real. WBC, Mauricio Suleiman should be fired from boxing forever. He is a baddie man. Yeah, Mauricio is a money man on the take. You know what I mean? On the take. You know, for the right amount of money, you will get the right ranking. And it seems like the WBA must be in on it too. Andre Berto popping up in the WBA rankings out of nowhere, huh? Man, he fought when? When the last time Andre Berto fought? Popping up in the top 10 or what is it, top 10, 15 of the WBA? Man, it's a joke, man. I think Porter isn't ready for Terence personally, man. I mean, nah, man. I've been watching a lot of Shawn Porter, and like I said, I'm trying to be respectful of him. When we get this thing official, I got a lot to say, man. I got a lot to say. I've been studying Shawn Porter's style, strengths and weaknesses. Been watching that Ugas fight, man. Been watching that Kell Brook fight. Kell Brook fight was so long ago. Now I don't think he's the same Shawn Porter. Mainly his last 3 fights. And when I'm seeing from Shawn Porter, man, it's not going to be cool, bro. I see Shawn Porter, man, going down. You know what I'm saying? Going down. Yeah, man, we try to call it down the middle, Lawrence. We try. You know, we got a lot of fam here from a lot of fan bases. One thing about the channel, man, I've attracted different fan bases to the channel. Like, or me, I'm not, even though y'all know I rock with Bud, I rock with Deontay. At the end of the day, man, we get a lot of this. One of the beautiful things about Main Man's channel is we get a lot of different fan bases. So I try to consider that. You know, of course, I'm going to stomp for my guys, but I always try to consider that now. We do attract a lot of different fighters' fan bases, depending on who in the news at the time. You know what I mean? So, you know, we try to be considered as such. You'll say, yo, man, if Porter versus Crawford goes to purse bid, I heard Bud will still owe another fight to Top Rank because it won't be a Top Rank fight, technically. WTF, I haven't heard that. Top Rank will still be a promoter in that fight. They just won't be the lead promoter. I don't know, just because it won't be led by Top Rank. I don't know if that got to be the clause. That's just people reaching, man. Nobody know that for sure. That's a reach, and you know, there's a lot of reaches going on around right now when it comes to Terence Crawford. Everyone's reaching and looking for the negative news. So you got to understand, stick to the ones that's going to keep it real with Crawford. You know what I mean? About Crawford, because everyone is looking for the negative headline. They're all looking for the negative headline. They all want to be right. Everybody's an insider. You know what I'm saying? Everyone knows this and knows that. Everyone is looking for the negative headline. Don't let them create one, fight fans. Don't let the anti-Crawford crowd create one. And they're looking for one. I'm hearing all kinds of stuff. The attack on Shawn Porter has started. The degrading of Shawn Porter has started, which lets me know Bud ain't going to get credit. I can ask till the cows come home. People going to come through. Yeah, man, I'm going to give them credit. I'm going to hold y'all accountable to that. But I already see the tearing down of Porter and everything else, man. I mean, at the end of the day, watch out for the negative headlines. Now, I don't think that's the case. Top Rank is still involved, and they still Bud's promoter. Everybody's just thrown out the window with Red Spikes, assistant trainer to Terence Crawford, just recently said. And according to Red Spikes, not a bunch of YouTubers, according to Red Spikes, and I don't know if he knows or not, but he's close to Terence Crawford. He says that it's either one fight or October. That's what he said. That ain't Main Man Made Man. That's Crawford's team. They say either October or the fight. Now, we see Bob Arum saying, we want to do this in November due to the pay-per-views in October, blah, 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 blah. I don't know what that means. I don't know what repercussions that have if you go beyond October. I don't know. I don't know what does it mean, because I also noticed that Bob Arum came out pushing hard for pay-per-view. I don't know what it means in Bud's contract if Bud gets a pay-per-view on the way out of the door from Top Rank. I don't know what that means. I'll wait and see. The same way, and I'm still right here. It ain't changed. The same way that I say about Canelo coming over and making all of this money over there at PBC on Fox, and they just having him walk out the door with all that treasure, no strings attached. I still have a hard problem believing that Bob Arum lets Terence Crawford walks away to the biggest fight in boxing, no strings attached. I would think that it would take some maneuvering from whoever wants to get access to Terence, whether it's PBC or whoever else. If he's a free agent, it's going to take some maneuvering, maybe through some sanction. Maybe that's why this WBO funny movement is going on. I don't know. But I still, as a Terence Crawford fan, I have a hard problem letting Bob Arum watching Terence Crawford go out there and make Earl Spence Jr. fight without him. It's not about, oh, Bob has lost all of this money. I don't miss me with all that. Bob don't pay Terence Crawford's guarantee, fight fans. Y'all need to get that in y'all head about Bob running around crying about losing all this. He don't pay Terence Crawford's guarantee. ESPN pays that. So when he talking about how much money he lost on Gates, I guess, I mean, what you losing for real? You gave him 2 pay-per-views that ain't do so well. Great. Okay, cool. But it's not like that took for, like, Crawford's money that he been making, real money, has been since this ESPN deal started, that he got thanks to Terence Crawford. Thanks to the numbers that Crawford are producing. ESPN is providing money for his guarantee. So, I mean, but Bob Arum just be lying, man. He act like he hurting so bad financially because of Crawford. Right? Let's not forget you got that deal because of Crawford. Tyson Fury wasn't over there to help him get a deal on ESPN. Lomachenko wasn't that big of a star. Just ask HBO. Who the hell else did he have to get a big good deal like that with ESPN? Teo wasn't a star. Teo wasn't really born yet. It was because of Crawford. And then he got the nerve to lie. I'm losing all this money when you ain't even paying his demand guarantee. The only time that Bob Arum is chipping in money for Crawford is when you're talking about issuing him pay-per-view revenue. That gate and all that shit, that's going to Bob. So ESPN is covering most of Crawford's stuff. I don't believe nothing that Bob say, but I do have a heart to act like he's losing so much. That's what people believe. That's what people believe. He lost so much money, but he paying Tyson Fury $20 million a fight. Man, get out of here, man. Get out of here. It ain't got nothing to do with that. Crawford is a hot commodity. They've more than a lot of boxing fans know. It's easy to go by them pay-per-view numbers from back in the day because that was Victor Postal's party, because he didn't have the dance partner. He didn't have a little mic. He didn't have nobody to put him on the map. He didn't have a passing of the torch fight. He didn't have those fights. He had a Victor Postal, a guy from the Ukraine who no one knew. All right? He had a Mir Khan, who once upon a time was a star. Bad miscalculation. Bob Arum watching the Mir Khan fight Canelo Alvarez on pay-per-view and figure, well, why don't we get in the Khan business? In the very next fight, the numbers flop. Army Barmy totally evacuated the building. I don't believe nothing that Bob Arum said, man. He lied on Crawford for so long. Bob Arum is the reason that everyone thinks that Crawford ain't worth nothing. Bob Arum is the reason that everyone's running around here clowning Terence Crawford's pay-per-view numbers and he ain't worth nothing and he don't have a fan base when it's all lies. I got boxing fans rolling up in the comment section. Man, he done bad business. How the hell he done bad business? And he got the highest guarantee at the welterweight division on the biggest network in sports. How did he do bad business? He got kids, man. Ain't nobody trying to fight him. Ain't nobody trying to give him the big fight. Man got kids, he got mouths to feed. So what he supposed to do? What's wrong with understanding? But the people make it like he's so wrong. He took bad business. That don't make sense to me. You know what I mean? And so at the end of the day, I'm fully aware. And this is what angers me. I don't get much into it with a lot of the boxing fans because that one angers me more than anything because y'all drinking the Bob Arum Kool-Aid. Y'all come in here and spit exactly what he say. Y'all drinking the Bob Arum Kool-Aid with ice. What is it, fruit punch? Is it grape? What y'all got going on over there? Too many of us drinking that Kool-Aid. Y'all need to understand. Prior to Tyson Fury getting there, how the hell did Bob Arum get a deal on ESPN? Who was the star? Who did ESPN want so bad to give Bob Arum that beautiful deal? Who was it? Funny, every time they put Crawford on, he doing $2 million or better. Every time that man fights, well, these were the best numbers of ESPN in the last 3 years. Then a bunch of other fights would come on. Then Crawford would come on again. Well, this is the best numbers in the last 2 years. I've seen that so many times. But everybody say he's not a star. So y'all keep drinking Bob's Kool-Aid. Bob running game. I don't trust nothing on Bob Arum. October, November, he was just talking about Jose Cepeda 2 weeks ago. Right? The reports come out, said that they were talking to David Avanesian. Which one we talking about? So which one do we believe in, fight fans? I don't believe jack shit from Bob. And at the end of the day, I'm glad PBC. And I hope that the whispers prove to be true. That PBC wants to win this purse bid. I hope so. Because believe it or not, I got more faith in PBC doing right. At this point at least, I got more faith in PBC doing right by Terence Crawford than Bob Arum. We literally just went through 2 different name opponents in 2 weeks. Some of y'all made vids about it. Jose Cepeda. Then the sources come out and say, well, they were talking to David Avanesian. You know what I'm saying? Everybody confused out this bitch, dog. I mean, this is crazy, bro. That's why I say, man, I don't believe it. Just like I don't believe that Bud is not a star. Just like I don't believe that Bud did not do good business. Like he ain't worth nothing. Just like I know that him and Earl Spence Jr. still produces perhaps the first to second biggest fight in boxing. No one can convince me otherwise. Nothing that Bob Arum says and nothing that the anti-crowd would say. Because I know. Look at Shawn Porter. He popping. He popping like popcorn right now. His name ain't popped this much and he don't know how long. All because it's attached to Terence Crawford. But he's not a star, man. He's not a star. And y'all know how it always go, right? Everybody wants to be a star. Hey, sis, I got La D on deck. What's up with you, sis? Now, you know that's hate. Ain't nobody ever teared down Porter before. Absolutely. Porter does not deserve to be tore down. There's one thing to say that Shawn Porter gonna lose, or y'all think that Terence is gonna beat him, but to say that Porter and to go through his resume with a fine-tooth comb and to pick out his performances is not the way to go. Let's not lose respect for Shawn Porter. I get it. We turn up, we gin up, we hit the table, we get a little hype because we taking up for our guy, but let's not also take our eye off the ball that Shawn Porter is an admirable fighter. Admirable fighter, win, lose, or draw. And it's almost hard to actually go against Shawn because he got a cool-ass personality. You know what I'm saying? But his suits, man, it's just be the suits, bro. Like, I think I seen a man walking around in an apricot suit. Like, who the hell got apricot suits, bro? No one wears apricot color suits. That's my problem with Shawn Porter. You know what I mean? But outside of that, man, Shawn seems like a cool dude, man. Always been some sort of a class act. But I knew the game that he was running the first time around, and he knew the game that he was running the first time around. But listen to how he talks about what he was doing, like asking for step aside money. He was taking orders, man. Shawn ain't know what the hell was going on. Shawn ain't know. He just listening to the phone ring from his dad and the people that he trusts. Shawn have no idea what the hell is going on. And so even in this situation, I think Shawn is really at a point where he is shocked and maybe a little surprised, but he also don't want to mess nothing up. He don't want to, he know that everything he said right now is going to be recorded. He know that every quote that he say right now is going to be plastered over YouTube everywhere. And Shawn is very smart to be tight-lipped, to be honest with you. Because be honest with you, and this is part of the fight game, and Shawn should already known this from going against Earl Spence Jr. Because Earl Spence Jr.'s fan base wasn't kind to Shawn Porter either. But Shawn should already know what he's going to be going against. But I respect Shawn Porter. Win, lose, or draw. He has the best resume at the welterweight division. Aside from Manny Pacquiao, and maybe even better than Manny's if I sit down and look at it. But aside from Manny Pacquiao at the welterweight division, there's no one else that got a better lineup of fights than Shawn Porter. Win, lose, or draw. Gave Earl Spence the closest scare to date in his career. Pushed Earl as far as anyone has ever pushed him. You know what I'm saying? Unfortunately, I think Shawn has limitations. But one limitation that he don't got is the respect level. My respect level for Shawn Porter go through the roof. But I'm going to get him once he make this thing official. You know what I'm saying? We going to get him when he make it official, man. Real spill. I got my brother D-Lo 44 boxing on deck. I see you, man. I see you, D-Lo. What's up, man? What's up with y'all, man? Salute to everybody, man. Salute to everybody. Napoleon, what's up, man? I thought Bob wanted to be done with Bud already. Yeah, he wanted to be done. As long as he has no idea which way he gonna go. But it's hard. I can't help but think that Bob has got to say, look, man, I went through all of this with him. I've been through the Ndongos. I've been through the Benavidez's. I've hunted for the Khan. I paid Khan $5 million guaranteed, and he got $7 million total. That could have been someone else, but Khan is the one that got the money. Fine. He lost all. He been through all of these. Now the big payoff. Bob Arum is just going to let Crawford walk out with the big payoff. My question is, what is Bob going to do if he did want to remain? Let's just say he did want to remain in business with Crawford. Bob will have to give up everything but the kitchen sink. Everything. I mean, totally gutted. He'd really be unhappy then. And I don't think he'd be willing to do that. You know what I'm saying? I don't think so. Let him move on, man. Let him move on. Crawford is the most skilled boxer I've seen for a good time, with all due respect to our Japanese brother. I would say since Pacquiao, and he's a good dude. Yeah, Pacquiao's a good dude. Crawford is tremendously skilled. Tremendously skilled. He's aging, and they know he's aging. People are waiting for that one crack in the window like they seen with Kalvalauskas. You know what I mean? Everyone knows he's aging. They want to keep the bad. The second he looks bad in the fight, I told you he wasn't that good. Do you know how many wolves are sitting on the sideline salivating from their mouth, just like waiting for Crawford to lose or lose 5 rounds consecutively, look bad in a fight? You know what I mean? Do you know how many people are just salivating on the sidelines? You know what I'm saying? All because they get upset when people ask questions of, how the hell Earl gonna stop Pacquiao when he couldn't stop Lil Mike? We ask questions like that, and that makes them salivate. You know what I'm saying? Earl need to stop playing with his food, man. He need to stop playing with his food. Look, I'm gonna move on one more thing before I get up out of here, fight fans. I gotta say this, man. Because I got it in the title also. Y'all see those things out there that Bob Arum is saying about Tyson Fury? Tyson too fast Fury. Tyson too fast Fury. You know what, man? I seen the stuff that Bob Arum had. I ain't even putting his quotes up here, man, because like I told y'all with this Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder thing, I know y'all noticed I kind of pulled back on Wilder and Fury. And I can't wait because I'm all day rocking with Bomb Squad. But don't get it twisted. But the reason I pulled back on Fury and Wilder until we get a little closer to the date is because the media is playing games. There's too many games going on, and I ain't got time to keep coming changing position as the wind blows. Okay, if we come out and rally behind one position, they're gonna keep changing it. What they did on that initial date, and y'all know I pay attention. Y'all know I do my homework. What they did when they dropped the news of this thing falling apart and how that story changed throughout the day, oh my goodness! And then they came back a couple days with the whole full lineup story, and they covered every base with it. I was like, oh, they know what they're doing. They stand ahead of our narrative. They're monitoring our narrative, and it's trying to stay ahead of it at every turn. Even with this situation that Bob Arum is saying with Fury, and people are questioning, because I initially questioned, like, when did he have time to sit down and do a quarantine? Like, okay, even if you say he beat it, when did he sit down and do a quarantine? Some people say 14 days, right? Well, they covered that, man. They covered themselves on that. And that's why they can get into it. The thing is, the story went, what was it, the 6th of this month is when he got the shot? Because he tested positive back in early in the month. And then the next day, I believe it was the 6th, he got the shot. Which then from the 6th to the following week, which was, I believe, the 13th, is when they'll say, well, he was quarantined for that whole period of time. And then he tested negative on the 13th. So they're going to say, well, he was only had to be quarantined from when he got that shot till he got tested negative. They'll cover themselves with that. Then people may say, well, how does he travel? How did he travel? Well, then I looked into that too. That's why I didn't touch it. I looked into that. And the way that works is if you do have to quarantine on going to the UK for travel, you quarantine on their end, not on this end. So they can say, well, he flew in and quarantined himself for 10 days in his house. It's only 10 days. Everything was covered. It was no use. At the end of the day, this is the decision. We go into October if that's what they decide. Ain't none of us gonna change it. We can expose it. We don't believe it. I think it's all BS, but they're gonna cover themselves. They're gonna keep changing the story. And I don't got time for the story to keep changing. Joseph Parker. I got Bob Arum saying that, oh yeah, he had it. Even though Joseph Parker, like, what are you talking about? So which one is it? Is it a scandal that he went to this UFC event with it, as Bob say? Or is Joseph Parker didn't have it and the initial reports were all lies? Which one is it? You got to choose. Can't have it both ways. Can't have it both ways. They're going to stay ahead of that story too? It's just not even worth my energy, man. It's just not worth the energy. When you see these type of efforts underway from the media and from everyone involved, you see. And there's another story attached to this that I just don't know if I got the energy to go down the rabbit hole with it. But Bob Arum let something slip earlier out today that it made my eyebrow rise. And he says that the same doctors that he used were the same doctors that the doctors for the Nevada State Athletic Commission. Are these also the same doctors that cleared Fury to travel? I mean, why is the Nevada State Athletic Commission playing so friendly with Bob Arum? They didn't want to play so friendly with Deontay Wilder and hear his pleas, did they? I'm just saying, I don't want to go down these holes, man. I ain't got the energy, man. I just don't got the energy. Just don't got the energy to do it no more. They'll dust back. You go back a couple years of me here on YouTube, and I would have loved stories like this. You know what I'm saying? I would have loved stories like this. Let me see. But the one thing, let me go bring this full circle before I end this. Now, I don't believe it. It's all crap. But the one thing that concerns me, because you see in the title, I got Tyson Fury schemes. Is he scheming? Here's the one thing that I am very, 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 very concerned about. Bomb Squad. Yeah, I need to be concerned about. We need to be concerned about. What is travel going to be like coming back here in October? We need to get Fury back on American soil like yesterday. The numbers out there going back up. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Travel things may change. It's going to get colder. Things going to get not get as maybe worse before they get better, given that things may start to get colder. I need Fury back over here before anything get locked down. I need Fury back in here. They say he got a house out in Las Vegas, right? According to Bob Arum. Why he ain't there? Why is he out there in Morecambe? They say he out there with his wife. Why? Look, I get it. You want to be with the family and let's get Fury back in America as soon as possible. Let's get him back here as soon as possible. I don't trust it. I don't trust the travel stuff. I don't trust none of that. And I don't want him to get over there and get stuck. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. And I'm going to leave it at that. We don't want nobody getting over there getting stuck. You know what I'm saying? D-Lo says, Tyson Fury could only help Bob get a deal if he's looking for that base. And I don't mean fan base. Yeah, exactly. Hey, you know him and Bob, they probably kicking back together doing a few lines. You know what I'm saying? Shit, Bob look like he down for whatever. You know what I mean? What's up, Joseph? How you doing, man? How you doing? Just cool and talking this real spiel, man. talking this real spill. Crawford got to go where the work is. PBC. I believe Al Heyman will go still hold Bud out from feeding him those guys unless he signed with him. That is very possible too, Uriel. You write down, you on it, you bullseye, bro. I mean, that's the name of the game with most of these outfits. They all play the same game, and that's lock in. If you got something that's going to be profitable in the future, if you got something that your value is still high, we want you locked in. I just told y'all, Devin Haney better watch out because Eddie Hearn already got quotes out here in the public signaling to him that you ain't locked into nothing now, but I don't know how long you think this is going to keep going. I could play those quotes. Those are public threats to Devin Haney. And I hope he heard them loud and clear. I know Bill Haney heard them, but I hope he heard them loud and clear. Next year, towards the end of this year, they're going to be looking for Devin to sign something. He still got a WBC title. He still can bait other opponents to their network. They're going to be looking for him to sign something. Watch. Maybe he does. Maybe he doesn't. You know what I mean? But that's the name of the boxing game, fight fans. Lock in. They fake. Remember Eddie Hearn? Oh, yeah, you can come over here for a one-fight deal. He told Charlo, you come on over here for a one-fight deal, fight Andrade, and go on back. Psh, they ain't believe that shit at all. The reason that they know how Eddie get down, you can talk that talk, brother, but all of them options are buried in our contracts. They all play this option game. It ain't just, like I said, it ain't an Eddie Hearn thing. It's just the game of boxing. You know what I mean? Mike says, yo, man, is this live or is it a remake? We heard them stories before. Let's talk about how he's finally going to get challenged. We broke that down too. You say he's going to get challenged. I'm glad you say that, Mike, because when I hear he's going to get challenged, when I hear he's in there with some smoke, that means that you can't give him nothing but credit when he get beyond his challenge. That means that no one can come on back up in here, which, Mike, I know that you ain't going to do that, but nobody can come up in here and telling me nothing. If that's the case, right? All right. If you wipe out Shawn Porter, just make sure you say it. Remember, this is a challenge. This is the smoke. Shawn Porter, who Yordenis Ugas got the best of. Shawn Porter, who's been bouncing on his toes more than ever. He went bouncy with Sebastian Formella. If he go bouncy with Bud, he gonna bounce his ass on that canvas. Y'all keep thinking that this is Shawn Porter from 2013, don't y'all? Okay. Y'all just keep on thinking that's the same old guy. I'm honestly thinking that Shawn Porter can't even sustain that running back pressure for 12 rounds no more. I think he's aged over time. I think he has to be the bouncy version of Porter because he has to sustain himself as well. Y'all keep going back 2014, 15, 16. Y'all better look at the new Shawn Porter and tell me if you see the same guy. That's all I'm saying. Oh, yeah, he need to go in there and make Bud uncomfortable. He need to go in there and get in his chest. Okay, cool. So they get beat up on the inside and get reduced to a boxer. Then what? Then what? Then he starts to bounce on his toes. Then what? And then he's going to get counted like he was getting counted all night by Ugas. Then what? Then what? Ugas couldn't miss with the counter shots. Couldn't miss. Couldn't miss. You think Bud going to miss? And Bud hits way harder than Yordenis Ugas, might I add. Way harder. And Shawn didn't even want to test him. Shawn didn't even want to test him. But you think he going to test Bud, though. But he wouldn't test Ugas. Okay. Okay. Now, Ugas got something special, though. I think Ugas is a damn good fighter. Let's not get that twisted. Ugas what? Didn't he beat Bud back in the day? So who knows, man? Maybe Ugas just got what they need. You know what I'm saying? My brother Batman is on deck. John Page, what's up with you? What's going on, man? Shawn talking about KO. Hey, he's supposed to. He's supposed to. He hear us out here, man. He hear us out here, fight fans. Make no mistake about it. The slogan, gonna stop Shawn Porter. Shawn Porter gets stopped by Bud. That started right here. He heard loud and clear. He heard loud and clear. That started right here. I'm glad the boxing world caught on. Gonna stop Shawn Porter. And we stand right there. Salute to my brother Mills Lane in the super chat. Much love and much appreciation. Thanks, fam. I much love and I appreciate that, man. Smash that like button for the bro, man. Hey, yo, y'all can't hit the thumbs up for me, though. See, this is what I be talking about, man. God damn. Look, man, y'all got to look out for your homie, man. Hit the thumbs up for me. Damn, I know a lot of y'all be driving, a lot of y'all be on the move. But hit the thumbs up for me. I know I got a lot of ops. I know I got a lot of cats that drop in, see what main man talking about, and get up out of here. I get a lot of those. But for those who really got a lot of love for main man, all I ask you to do is hit that thumbs up. That's all I do. So when I go live or when I upload a video and the fam that rock with me, y'all see when I'm doing it. And the way that YouTube gonna make that happen, you got to hit that thumbs up, man. You know what I'm saying? You got to hit that thumbs up. Much love to y'all all, man. And much love to my brother Mills Lane, man. For real. It's not just Al freezing out Andre. All the smoke for Andre is signed with DAZN, except for Charlo. Facts. When it comes to Andre, Eddie Hearn don't have an answer, man. He just doesn't have an answer. He doesn't. His only answer is to keep feeding him soft touches as much as he can and maybe try to coerce Billy Joe Saunders and back into a situation with Andre, bro. That's the best that Eddie got. He can't even get Gennady Golovkin and Andre to fight, but he can get Gennady Golovkin and Canelo to want to fight. You see what I'm saying? That's just all of that. Just is terrible. It's terrible. You know what I mean? And the sad part is that if Andre re-signed back with Eddie Hearn with the quickness, so who's to really blame? When Andre's deal was up with Hearn, Andre signed so fast it made your head spin. No one even got to the point of even mentioning anything about bidding for Andre. Andre went right back to Eddie like, Eddie, please. You know what I'm saying? Sign me back up. So Andre likes this type of stuff too. So that's why I always say with Andre he takes certain initiatives. I get it. He likes to crash people parties and stuff like that, which is all good stuff, man. You know, I'm old school with it. I love to see when Andre crashing in on dudes and stuff like that's all cool. But Andre ain't want to, I guess, take the opportunity when he semi was free and maybe explore other options. He never even thought about it. You know what I mean? He never even thought about it. Hit that thumbs up for the homie, y'all. Hit that thumbs up for me. Thumbs up, man. You already, man. I appreciate that, Mills. I appreciate you, man. I don't understand it, man. I don't understand it. D-Lo says, I think at this point, Eddie is hoping one of them UK boys knock Andre off. That's exactly what he wants. They were scheming on Andre, D-Lo, at one time. They was really scheming. Remember when they wanted him to move up in weight? They were telling him to go up to 68 and vacate his WBO. Remember that news? Because they was trying to line up and put in position either Jaime Munguia or either Liam Williams. I think it was Liam, and that's an Eddie Hearn fighter. Liam Williams. You know what I'm saying? So they was trying to line stuff like that up and get Andre out the way, hoping that Andre was going to move up to challenge Billy Joe Saunders at the time. But if Andre would have done that, I don't think Billy Joe Saunders would have gave him the opportunity. And Andre knew that it's no way that I was going to move up and vacate my title. Now, Andre started saying that he could win up, and I think he did go up in weight, or he was going to go up in weight and still hold on to his WBO. But they still was trying to tempt him to drop that WBO. They was trying to swindle Andre up out of that belt, man. They really was. And I'm glad he saw through it. You know what I'm saying? I'm glad he saw through it. I really am. Shawn can make it ugly for sure, says Breeze Boxing. He can make it ugly, but how much of that stuff count? I mean, a lot of that shit be smothered work, overshooting, undershooting. How much of it count? You know what I'm saying? How much of it count? That's the golden question. But I'm gonna get up out of here, fight fans, man. It's been a cool night. This supposed to have been a quick one for me. This is the reason why I didn't bring some of the fam on, because I supposed to just wanted to drop this in and out. I didn't have the time luxury tonight to edit up a bunch of videos, so I just wanted to drop the news of the day on the live stream. You know what I'm saying? And this pretty much is the news of the day. I will admit a lot of speculation here. So for those who know that I keep it 100, I'm gonna tell y'all when I'm keeping it 100. A lot of speculation here, especially with the Canelo stuff. No one knows. No one knows if this is real talk. A lot of publications have, like I said, yet to pick this up. The insiders, the supposed sources, people, those are the ones that are talking about this. And for the most part, most of those guys are pretty good, but sometimes they don't get it right. And sometimes they just want us to talk about it. You know what I mean? So don't know which one it is right now. If I had to speculate on it, the reason what this thing fell apart, I would think it has something to do with the future of Canelo Alvarez. Much love to y'all. Have a blessed night. I see y'all soon on We Talking Boxing Live. Y'all have a blessed night. Stay stressed and sucker free. That whole 9 yards. We're going to get back up on here panel style real soon. Working on those phone lines, fight fans, making it better. You know what I'm saying? Y'all have a good night. For those who got to go to work in the morning, you know what I'm saying? Put that work in, man. That way come around on the weekend. We can all sit on down, chill on out, and have a good time and enjoy these fights. You know what I'm saying? All day. Blessed night, everybody. And until the next video, man. Peace out.